Mentally Morbid.
This podcast represents the opinions of the speakers and guests to the show. By listening to this podcast or reading any content posted or shared by the Mentally Morbid creators, you agree not to use this podcast or blog as psychological advice. The content should not be used in lieu of medical or psychological advice or any legal capacity whatsoever, including but not limited to establishing standard of care. The content here is for entertainment and educational purposes only. No guarantee is given regarding the accuracy of any statements or opinions made on the podcast or blog. Please consult healthcare professionals for any medical or psychological care.
I didn't know that shampoo could cost $100.
I want to be clear. I use bottom tier nice shampoo.
I'll tell you one thing. You don't.
No, I do. The shampoo that hairstylists want you to use.
Okay,
is
wait. Let's clarify.
significantly-
You use bottom tier of the expensive shampoo.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, out of nice shampoo, I use bottom tier. Like, it comes much more expensive.
Welcome to episode 41. I'm Kayla.
I'm Kinsey.
I use Pantene.
Okay,
I'm
first
Andy, and I use whatever's on the rack that looks expensive but is now cheap at TJ Maxx.
Right. Okay, so here's the thing. Number one, lots of shampoo, such as Pantene, has caused baldness in a lot of women, so I refuse to
Kinsey
use it.
is in denial.
Do you know how many
considering
wigs
she
I
won't
could
tell us.
buy for $100 of shampoo every
Kinsey,
few months?
what flavor shampoo do you use?
Wow, I can't think of the name now.
It's because you dissociate when you buy it. I mean,
If you spend... No. See, I only get a haircut maybe once a year.
Right, I'm talking to the wrong audience.
Yeah,
You don't.
this is the very
you don't
wrong
get-
audience.
Also, like, if you spent as much money as I do to get my hair colored, I buy color safe shampoo.
Which is a whole other
I can't even
conversation.
justify that. My hair is mouse brown, and it will stay mouse brown until DJ is well beyond his position now.
Right, but that's not fair because you're also not going. Neither of you are going gray. I've been going gray since I was.
I
17.
want gray hair so bad. Why are you crying?
I
But-
hate it.
To clarify, I would just go gray rather than pay that. There's a difference.
I want gray hair so bad. Everyone around me has gray hair. I'm the last one to get gray hair.
I hate
I
you
don't-
so much
But
right
Kinsey,
now.
I don't judge you for going there. I think it's fine that you do that.
I'm very.
I don't. I hate it.
I don't like my gray hair, and I also don't. I prefer how my hair looks when someone else does it. So, in order to maintain how my color looks throughout the month, I have to get shampoo for colored hair. Also, TJ Maxx has been known to water down their shampoo, so that's why.
That's what makes it cheaper.
Yeah, I know.
I can't buy 2 for $16 of salon quality shampoo if they don't water it down, Kinsey. It's expensive.
I'm trying to figure out what the name of my shampoo is. Hold, please.
Kinsey, you could tell me that they put Nair in it and I will still buy it.
Right.
Listen.
That's the difference.
I remember very vividly in my one of my math classes, we were doing some sort of graph thing, and my teacher was like, how many of you spend over, I think we were doing like mean, median, mode or something. How many of you spend over $20 on a haircut? And like half the class raised her hand. And then she just kept going up. And I remember specifically there was this one girl, she spent $100. She spent like $80 on a haircut. And I looked at my friend and I was like, no, I would just cut my own hair. And I have.
I know.
Okay, confession though. I actually went and got a nice haircut some weeks ago. $60. I made an appointment because the last time I got my $20 haircut, I cried.
I can't believe you didn't tell us about this.
Well, it's not exciting in my world. It was just another haircut that I didn't want to have to pay for.
When do we ever say anything exciting?
Okay, listen. I'm going to be really honest right now that
rip me apart, do it.
No, I'm going to be really honest that
your hair looks like shit.
No, this is about me. It's about me.
Of course it is.
I should have guessed.
So sorry, I got that confused.
No, it's all talk about self. If I didn't have gray hair and have to get my hair colored like every 2 months, which I do, I try to put it off as long as I can before I start to feel like it looks like shit. I don't go as often as she wants me to, that's for sure. If I didn't get my hair colored, I would not be getting my hair cut. That would not be happening. I didn't get my hair cut when I did my own hair color. That's just an added thing since I'm already
like
there.
Her. She's awesome. Her maid of honor, though, debatable. So every time she spoke about Morgan, Morgan, which was the bride, she would refer to her as her best friend. So in her maid of honor speech, she kept going, I'm her best friend. And we've been best friends for a lot of years. And I think we're going to be best friends for the rest. Like, it was so obnoxious. I remember Laura and I cackling in the audience because it was so obviously obnoxious and she was so territorial. I could not be friends with somebody like that. Can you actually, Kinsey, I feel like you need a friend like that.
Oh, no, I don't. Don't you remember about my stalker? I hate that. Don't talk to me. Listen, as the months go on, you know, like I've always been the more social of the three of us. I've always been very needy. I know that. But as I grow, I realize that I would prefer to just wait from the attention from the friends I already have than try to find new friends. It's just, I just can't do it.
That's just getting older.
I feel like there's social and then there's needy. I feel like those are two very distinct characteristics that do fit you both. But
I'm both, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
you're both.
Now I'm definitely like, I'm fine and comfortable being social, but like
maybe this week.
No, but I don't want to, like, I like how Kayla's always like, I like having deep conversations. Like, I only want to have those with the 5 friends I already have. That's it. No deep. People ask me how I'm doing, and Ashley's pointing this out too. People in public like trying to get to know me, and I like always steer the conversation back to them because I'm just like, oh no, I'm good. Don't worry about me. Like, I have no interest.
When I dropped Aurora off this morning, so I'm already crying because I dropped her off for surgery, but I'm walking out the door and this other woman kept trying to make conversation that she had her dog. There was an older lab, and Aurora was like doing what Aurora does, trying to make friends with the other dog, of course. So she was just howling at the dog, screeching at the dog. Yes, but so I kiss Aurora, and I can hear the woman going, "Oh, get out of my business!" First of all, so then she's still talking. I'm walking out the door, just trying to hold in tears, and she's like, "Is this y'all's first time leaving an animal here?" And Kevin's like, "Yeah, it's our first time." And she's like, "Oh, they're gonna take good care of them. They're gonna give you a call." And I'm just like, "Kevin, please come on, please stop."
Oh my God.
I don't need a friend right now. I
don't need anybody. I want to go in the car and I want to eat goldfish by the handful, and I want to cry and wipe my tears off with salty fingertips.
I cried into the towel that we dried her off with.
Oh, of course you did.
That is so sad. Oh no. Did you sleep with it? Are you going to sleep with it tonight?
I'm just going to hold myself. Actually, truth be told, I'm probably just going to enjoy a really good night's sleep because we'll have space in the bed. It'll probably be the first time I sleep in a while. But sadly.
But
I'm so sad.
Upset,
but I have so much leg room.
Depressed.
So much leg room.
Oh my God.
Oh. So, everybody who's listening, Annie said to act natural whenever we found out that Aurora had to go in for surgery. And I have done a really great job of acting natural. Kinsey, on the other hand.
I did great.
Kinsey immediately sent me wine money. No, not just money. Wine money.
I did that literally so far before you told me not to.
4 hours.
No, I sent that when you, like, literally you sent the message and that she was having surgery tomorrow, and I sent the money. And then you guys were like, hey, let's act like it's not happening. And then I took a nap, and then you noticed I sent the money. So I cannot control.
How
To
is
be
your
fair,
Venmo?
Venmo doesn't send me notifications immediately.
Yeah.
But I
Mine,
did
it took
send
me
it,
4
like-
hours to get mine.
I sent it immediately. So that was
But
before we had
but
that
that doesn't mean you
conversation.
didn't ask questions later.
But like, why is your Venmo transfer faster than like a Westerner with a gun? Like they, you know, they draw the gun at the
She does
strike of
everything
12.
so fast.
Right. It's impressive. I could never beat you.
I was
It's
like,
probably all that really expensive shampoo is ours is probably like starting to like degrade into our skulls. Maybe
Right,
that's the headaches.
it's making you dumb.
Oh.
Killing you from inside or outside in. Yeah, it's seeping in.
We can only
It's the Pantene effect.
That's the V, Impro V.
Maybe it's Pantene.
Maybe it's a bacterial infection of the skull.
Oh my god, just like that dude.
Oh no.
Howard.
What?
Howie.
Howard.
Herbert.
Howard.
Whatever his name was.
Howard Dully.
Howie.
Oh no.
I think you're getting him confused.
The Rod guy.
I think you're getting him confused with
I
the
was
guy
wondering
who
who
got,
Howie was.
Howard got the lobotomy.
Oh, yep.
The other guy got the brain infection because of
Kinsey.
the rod.
Well, if
You
you guys
remember-
are, if our listeners are anything like me and don't listen to you guys talk, feel free to revisit these episodes. They sound
What a
very
nice
interesting.
plug.
They sound
Yeah,
really
go ahead and plug
interesting.
yourself.
I didn't do any of those episodes. Not my thing.
Oh, God. You remember the Rod though, right?
Yeah, what was his name?
This is exactly why when you were like, my psychology class didn't cover this, I was like, bullshit. Bullshit. Yes, they did, because every single psychology class covers this, and I don't trust that.
One
Oh,
more
that
kid.
was such a good experiment.
Case in point.
One more kid. What is his name?
I can't remember his name.
Right. You don't. He just doesn't have a memorable name, but the Rod. Yes, I remember the Rod. And I remember
No,
you
his
saying,
name is very memorable. I just can't remember it right now.
then you said the
I
algae
always know it.
crawled out of his head.
Fungi.
Guys,
What? His name is Phineas Gage.
the name of
Yeah.
my shampoo is Redkin. I got there. I remember.
Okay, well, the guy with the rod through his skull is Phineas Gage.
Gage sounds like that would. Yeah, that sounds about right.
You pay $100 for Redken?
No, for the big bottle.
Okay, what in
here-
ounces?
Here's a
I know.
picture of him with his rod.
Listeners, do you see that?
I'll show the microphone. Sorry.
Wait, can
You're
you?
right.
Okay, wait. Please repeat that and then think about it in the context of the listeners.
No. I did that on purpose.
This is R-rated. Every time we
What
have
do you
to upload everything, it's
Explicit,
No, this is not made for
explicit.
not made for kids.
Don't let your children listen, please.
Trigger warning.
Not my episodes. Oh
No,
man.
actually, your most recent episode had trigger warning. The one I posted about today. So, go ahead and fuck off.
Yeah,
ahead.
cheating and affairs. That's right. It's very disturbing material. That's a different kind of trigger warning.
I don't even know why there is a trigger warning. I don't see the need, but you guys did
Well,
it, so
I
it's
think
fine.
that episode we really got into talking about different perspectives of affairs, not just from like the victim standpoint, but also from the perpetrator. So that I think that's
You-
probably why.
You know what was fun today? Trying to remember, number one, all the names of all the people on the show I've never watched before to make hashtags. Number two, getting no extra views because of those hashtags. Actually, less views because I used the hashtag. What was the point? Number three was trying to look up pictures because originally I was going to do pictures for like the Gottmans and Astor Perel and stuff before I decided to do just pictures of the Vanderpumps to try to get that. And one of the things I wrote down notes-wise was erotic desire. So let me tell you, Google blocked all of those images from coming up. Google said, no, not for you.
I was really wondering where you're going with that because earlier you gave the crown of complaining to Kayla, and I was just about to tell you you're about to take it back.
I didn't really think that I deserved the crown of complaining.
I'm just saying. I was talking about, look at my goodie bag I got today. You were shitting on it. Then you're complaining about the
that
podcast.
That wasn't complaining. That was just telling you that
that was probably the tarnish on the silver lining.
Right. I'm like having a good old, I'm just bebopping around. You're like, it's just expired shit, Kinsey.
Okay, so I don't deserve the crown of complain. I deserve the rain cloud.
Oh, rain cloud. That does, yes, you are rain cloud. Okay, listeners, I went to Walmart to do a pickup
Annie,
order.
You don't get a turn.
Because I didn't want to go
not
inside.
Not even that important.
And they gave me a goodie bag. And I was just so excited for all my little treats. Go ahead, Annie.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. It wasn't that important.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if anybody complained more than you do, Kinsey, consistently, like on average, mean, mode, median.
But I was talking about today.
I'm aware of what you're talking about. I'm making a different point. If anybody complained more than you, I would be concerned. I still love, and I don't know if we've covered this on the podcast, I still love the day that you were like, no, I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just complaining.
I knew you were going to say that shit.
We haven't covered this, right?
No.
Okay. So, listeners, we're discussing, I don't even remember how it started, so I don't know if I can bring any kind of context to this.
Oh, but someone was just like, here, to make your day better. And I was like, I didn't know I was having a bad day.
I think Kayla said something about it. Yeah, I think Kayla referred to your bad day or something in some way.
No, it was somebody else. And I was like, this person just said, yeah, they were just like, hey, here's a cute video for your bad day. And I was like, I'm having a bad day?
Yes.
After you had sent us, like, literally, like, 2 feet. 2 feet of wall of texts about all the bad shit that happened to you that day.
No.
And I was like, Kinsey, I'm so sorry you're in a bad mood. And you're like, I'm not in a bad mood. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just complaining. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. That was my bad.
I want to differentiate. I'm just a bitch. So I'm just shit talking. The shit talking has no effect on my mood.
I'm your own life.
I'm just shit talking. No,
but you see how that's confusing for the people on the outside whenever you are when you are actually having a bad day. And then we don't validate you. And then you're pissed off at us because we didn't know you were having a bad day.
I thought it was funny just from the audacity that you had.
I'm not in a bad mood.
The audacity to drop that much. And then we're ready, like, so sorry. I wasn't ready. I'm always, like, halfway out of that kind of conversation. But Kayla was so ready. And then you're like, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. I swooped back in just to state that I apologize for all the times that I thought you were in a bad mood. And I ran.
I never really thought of it like that. Because it is interesting. Because, like, I don't feel like, realistically, if I think back to the last year, I think I've only had what I would consider like maybe 10 bad days. Like most of the time, I would not consider it a bad day.
We're constantly breaking down.
Yeah, hold on. It takes a lot for me to consider it a bad day.
Just
like bad things have happened.
Sometimes it will be 7:30 in the morning, and you're like, "I'm crying. Good morning," and we're like, "What?"
Right. I didn't realize that as well. So I don't know. Have you guys you guys haven't seen Elemental yet? You haven't seen Elemental yet. So Elemental is the new movie.
Wait, pause. Are you about to tell me about ambiguous feelings?
No, there's a guy who's made out of water, and he spends the entire movie crying, and the entire time. So the guy who cries the whole time falls in love with the fire girl, right? And the whole time I'm like, I'm the fucking fire girl. I'm the fucking fire girl. And I'm like, Gus, that's me. And Gus looks at me, and Gus is like, no. He's like, you're the fucking water dude. What are you talking about? And I was like, I'm not the water dude. And the whole day after that, I was like,
And then you cried.
No. Okay, yeah. So then the next day comes, and I'm like, I'm crying. And Gus is like, see, you're the fucking water dude. And I was like, and I'm still in shock. I was like, I never realized. I thought this whole time I was fire girl, but no, I'm big water guy.
You know the face that children, toddlers make when they're trying to poop, and they're just standing there. That's the face I have to make to cry if I'm really sad.
I just picture Annie in a corner behind a chair, making that face.
This whole
And you go, Annie, are you pooping? Mm-mm.
No.
Annie, are you about to cry? No. Okay, just let me know when you're done.
Kayla, you in the middle there somewhere?
I'm always in the fucking middle, man.
Except
on the height. On the height.
That's me. I in the middle.
You are.
Ooh.
I am generally on the outskirts.
In all aspects of life. Every single one.
Of town, of life.
Of this.
Shout out.
Man.
I got a new book today.
I saw. It was
Kinsey, you go next.
Kayla sent us a picture of her book all strapped into its car seat in the car, just in case something bad happened to it.
The new book by Jennifer Armentrout came out today, and it was in my calendar, and I was going to be late to work today to go get it, but then I realized I have training, so I couldn't be late. So I was really hoping they weren't out of the books at the Barnes & Noble, so I went directly after work.
Does that happen still?
Yes.
Wow.
On big releases
why did you
like
ask that?
On big release days, yeah.
I don't even know who that is. That's a big release now?
From Blood and Ash is the series.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was like...
This is book 5.
I see. That makes more sense. It's a series. Okay.
Yes. I've tried getting that. I haven't seen the soft covers for it, right? They don't have any paperbacks in the Barnes & Noble. I haven't seen any. Every time I go, Blood and Ash is only hardcover.
Maybe you have to order it on the Amazon like that.
That's what I was thinking. I have too big of a stack to order more yet.
I never look for paperbacks, so...
We know.
I like to bend them.
See, this is where Kayla's bougie ass comes out. Kayla be buying what did you special edition hardcover books?
I buy special edition hardcovers, and I have my Christmas list and my birthday list are like all book related. My mom is buying me a box set of Throne of Glass hardcover, and then DJ is buying me new dust jackets for said books.
I'm just so glad we have that planned out in July. Thank goodness people know what they're getting you.
I just gotta know, you know?
You guys still do Christmas lists.
Because my mom...
I send my parents random shit on Amazon that I want.
This is why I still do Christmas lists, because if I don't make a Christmas list, my mother will buy me things that I don't want or use.
Yes.
So whenever I have, over the year, I add everything to my wish list on Amazon, and if I end up buying it, then I end up buying it. But if at the end of the year, whenever it's time to send my mom a Christmas list, I just screenshot everything that I didn't get a chance to buy myself, and then I send it to her, and then I end up with, like, garlic press or
right.
Everybody needs a garlic press, though. We'd be pressing the garlic out.
Right.
I feel like we're at the exact same stage.
Yeah, it's like that. But
yeah.
like, yeah.
Annie's like, no one has ever gotten me a Christmas gift. Not once.
I'm just, because I've heard, Kinsey, I've heard you reference like the Christmas list or just like the list that like of books that you have. And then I didn't realize that Kayla too had a Christmas list. And we're talking about bougie. Here we go.
And
listen, we have made it.
But and
we play.
DJ also asks for my Christmas list because him and my mom talk about what they're going to get me. And it makes it hard because my birthday is also in January, like in the middle of January. So it's literally less than a month later that I have a birthday. So they have to talk about what they're each getting me for Christmas. And then they both talk about what they're getting me for my birthday.
For me, let's remember, only child.
God, here we go.
Only child. So we play this
I'm going to talk about me, not you. It's me. Me.
It's Annie's turn.
Okay, go ahead.
No, that's all I have.
Tell me about your Christmas list.
Oh, I don't have a Christmas list.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. Me, bitch.
Oh my God. Wow. That's a vibrating.
It was so shrill.
Listen, I will say, Kevin is a spectacular gift giver.
He does seem like one.
He is. He's really good at gift giving. I am terrible at it. I'm the person that gives the garlic press and is like, I thought you wanted this. Is this not a necessity? I don't know why. I'm really bad at it.
I will say, the year that you gave me and Kayla candles for the zodiac signs you decided that we had, I still have it. I'm keeping it forever. I do love it.
I still have mine too.
I love it. It's wrong, but I love it.
Listeners, one year, Annie was so excited to give us these gifts, and she gave me a candle, and I was like, "Oh, thank you." And because when I turned it around, it said February.
I didn't know y'all's birthdays.
It was for my birthday. That's in January.
I'm positive mine says May. I'm sure. She thinks it's May. So. It's beautiful though.
Oh my God, I'm both wrong.
Oh, you did get them. You did. I don't know what mine says because it's not my actual birthday.
Best friend.
Listen.
I really appreciate it, but it's wrong.
That just makes it more special that I really put a lot of thought into it and still got it wrong. But that's really just a great example of how bad it gets.
That's a great example of how shit you are at gift giving.
Well, listen, 1 year, I think you guys probably know this and might not remember, but I never, we don't exchange gifts. I might say, here's some kind of, categories, right? So, here, some kitchen stuff, some jewelry like this, but I don't get, a list. 1 year, Kevin just pops out with this, real Anastasia music box, right?
Oh, I've seen it.
Heavy, yeah, and it's really pretty. It does the music, it's gorgeous. And I'm just like, what? How did you even think about this? I haven't watched Anastasia in 8 years, and you're just popping this out. And I cried. I was supposed to beat that. Anyways.
So what's your love language? It's not gift giving.
Mine?
Yeah.
Acts of service and probably physical touch. Do my shit, please, because my brain, just please do that stuff. Whatever you want, do it. Just pick something up and do it. And then probably, I like physical touch. Probably physical touch. Words of affirmation are nice. I do like to be appreciated. Tell me you notice, but I think physical touch and words of affirmation. What are y'all's? That's a good question.
You know
Kinsey?
What mine is. You know the answer.
Is it words of affirmation?
Gifts.
Oh, gifts, yeah. I bet it's gifts, then words of affirmation.
Yeah. I would actually prefer if you don't touch me. That would be better for me. Gus is like any man, and he's very physical touch oriented. He's kind of like a koala, and I'm like, okay. But other than in that I can do. But if anyone else touches me, it must be
so gift giving.
So brief.
Walmart gave her a bag of shit, and she's like, "Oh, they love me."
It was so exciting.
That's
Guess mine.
Yours is
acts of
quality
service.
Time.
Quality time.
Yes.
There's two.
Quality time and then acts of service.
Acts of service is
It's
a
always
good one.
top
I
two.
like that. Mm-hmm.
I feel
Gifts?
for anybody task oriented, it's going to be acts of service.
When you have a buzzy brain
Buzz
all
brain.
the time,
Fuzzy brain.
when you have buzz brain,
Yeah.
you need acts of service.
Like, listen, my dad could literally not tell me I'm doing a good job or touch me for a year, but if that man hangs some pictures for me, man, we tight, we good. We on a good, we are bonded for life.
That moss wall really did you in.
I was looking at the new pictures I bought for the bathroom at the office today, and I was like, I can't handle the stress. Please make it stop.
Literally takes less than 5 minutes to hang a picture.
Please make it stop.
You know, I did a paper on the 5 love languages, like an in-depth research paper.
When?
There's actually no
Send it to
data to back it up.
Oh, good. We should do an
No.
episode on.
They do have it afterwards, but it was more religious based first. So now the research, they go off of transaction, basically. So it's like relational transactions or transactional relationships with that. So now they have research that shows like there's some truth to it, but not necessarily the 5 love languages.
Okay, well, it's still
There's
fun
no
to talk
science
about,
for
you
you.
party pooper.
Right, fuck you.
Here I am.
Where's my gift? Pay up, bitch.
You want a garlic press?
I listen. That's what I was going to say earlier. At this stage, it's all kitchen items and books. That's what I get for Christmas. Every once in a while, I
Hey.
get something new and interesting, but that's the gifts.
Kinsey, did you change your name? Hold on.
Yeah.
Did you change it to Anastasia, or did you start off with Anastasia?
I started off with it, and you know what's funny? I spelled it wrong. Anastasia.
You-
I'm Anastasia with a lisp. Anastasia.
Well, that's impressive that you said Anastasia and then Annie talked about Anastasia.
It's because she sent the meme earlier, and Annie.
If you can learn to do it, I can learn to do it. We
I
can learn to
actually-
do it too. Go ahead.
I wanted to praise you that I was in session when you sent that, but I love that because when I read that sentence, Anastasia is the first thing that came to mind. So I was like, ooh.
Well, that's because it's what it's from. I literally put an Anastasia gif after that.
I know. I liked that. I liked what you did, is what I'm saying.
She's throwing a temper tantrum. Let her.
I'm trying to praise her. How dare I?
I'm
Don't.
talking about
That's
me.
natural.
Me.
Act natural, Kinsey.
Okay, last time I acted natural, you said too far, too far. So
It's because telling you guys to act natural is just asking for like a depressive episode to come on immediately. It's awful. Hey, I got a gift bag. It's free from Walmart. Yeah, well, it's expired. Shit. Guess what?
the good news is I ate half of the snacks today, so it doesn't matter.
Wait, what kind of... I want to know, what kind of snacks were they?
Okay, listen. So I got 2 different types of sports, like the Pedialyte stuff, two brands. I got little cheese
Ooh,
thingies.
Liquid IV?
No, it was like Drip Drop and Pedialyte.
The fuck is
so
that?
not like Pedialyte. It was Pedialyte.
Pedialyte Sport and Drip Drop, whatever that is.
Drip drop. Mm-mm.
I got these little cheese thingies that tasted like goldfish, but they were low-cal. They were pretty good. I got a weird coconut bar. Didn't like that. I got two types of candy samples. I got you know those $1 rice things you put milk in? They gave me one of those for some reason. I got a pen. I got a thing for fabric softeners.
Go
What
back.
do you mean rice things you put milk in?
Rice-a-roni or whatever
That
it's called.
sounds terrible. That sounds like it's just going to be mushy.
The rice-a-roni things they sell at Walmart that are like $1.
I was thinking rice cake, but I'm still not
I was
following the rice
thinking-
pack with milk.
You just put milk in and cook it.
You put water in it?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Kenzie's making rice butter in her microwave.
I got
It just
Takis.
curdled. Oh, good job.
We have a story today, right?
I do have a story, yeah. I have a story to tell. And I didn't wait till the last minute to do it.
Of course
No,
not.
not earlier when you're... Oh, yeah, the fancy restaurant you sat in.
Publix.
Kinsey said, how fancy.
All right, so I'm going to start off with a little story, and then I'm going to spice it up.
Well, I hope so, because the whole thing is we're supposed to have a story.
Stay mental.
See you next Tuesday.
That's it. Bye.
All right, so my references are psychiatrictimes.com.
Ooh, starting
Psych
off strong.
Central.
Wikipedia is going to be in there for sure.
Actually, it's not. PsychCentral.com and Healthline.com. This is the first time I've ever told a story without Wikipedia. Everyone applaud. Annie, applaud.
I'm not impressed that you actually didn't do
All right,
shoddy
fuck you.
research.
So, Mary, aged 40 years old, was whoa, I can't even read.
That started off strong.
That could be a problem.
You know what? I actually just realized I don't have my glasses on. I can't.
Oh my god.
Hold on, I gotta make the font bigger.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Okay. Anyway, so Mary, aged 40 years, was referred for psychiatric evaluation out of concern that a mental health diagnosis was interfering with her ability to appropriately and safely care for her child. The patient had stated on numerous occasions that her 9-year-old daughter, Sarah, had been placed in the custody of Child Protective Services and replaced by an imposter. She also reported that she had given birth to twins, but that the hospital records only documented the birth of Sarah. On occasion, she had shown up at her daughter's school, refusing to pick her up, screaming, "Give me my real daughter, I know what you've done." Despite reassurance from multiple healthcare providers and relatives, Mary continued to express concern that her daughter was not her own. Furthermore, she related several episodes in which her daughter was whisked away before I could talk to her while going about her daily business. For example, Mary related that a car drove by an unknown person with Sarah in the passenger seat past her while she was running errands, but sped away once she noticed. Following Mary's initial evaluation, a delusional disorder of Capgras Syndrome was diagnosed. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Say that again.
Yeah, Capgras Syndrome. So this condition was first described by Joseph Capgras and Ribot Lachaud in 1923 and was later named after him, obviously. So this is a syndrome that describes a delusion or a false belief in which the affected person believes that another person, generally a family member or a close acquaintance, has been replaced by a look-alike imposter.
So like changelings.
Actually, they did talk about folklore in this.
Awesome. That's an excellent movie.
But I didn't talk about it because I was like, that's really off topic. But yeah, they did talk about changelings. Okay.
Very fascinating if you're really into folklore.
I actually really enjoy changelings. A good changeling story. Anyway, God. So Capgras is also known as Capgras delusion. It's a condition in which people mistakenly believe either their spouse, a parent, a child, another person, sometimes a pet, has been replaced by a double. And they recognize the face, but they don't feel the bond of emotional connection. So then they conclude that that person is an imposter because they don't have the emotional response to that person.
So I don't feel what I used to feel for you, so it's definitely your fault.
Correct.
I like this.
It's not me, it's you.
Yeah.
Right? Kinsey, you like that.
I was thinking it too.
So Capgras syndrome is rare, like I said, and the signs vary between people. So one feature appears to be that, so it kind of varies depending on a person. A lot of the time it's with a spouse or it's a parent. Like I think those are the main two, is you're either a parent or a spouse of the person. So what causes Capgras syndrome isn't exactly known. But there was research done in 1979 with the hypothesis that the syndrome results from structural brain differences. And according to research from 2016, scientists are still trying to determine what the differences are that lead to Capgras delusion. So there was an article in 2021 that stated that the current research classifies Capgras as a neurological and psychiatric condition. And there was research that connected Capgras with brain lesions, but there's new findings that are suggesting that it's a little more complex. There are several theories about how the brain works when someone experiences Capgras syndrome. One is that there's a miscommunication between the parts of the brain responsible for facial recognition and emotional processing.
Uh-oh, visual cortex center again. Here we go.
Right. So people with Capgras syndrome often believe that the imposter has a harmful intent. And although violence can be seen in a lot of psychiatric disorders, there is a higher incidence of severe violence in patients with delusional disorders. Patients with Capgras syndrome, with Capgras syndrome, are more violent, often directed at the imposter, or in some cases, the people the patient believes replaced the loved one with. So because they think that person has replaced their loved one for harmful intent, they are more likely to be violent against that person, which is harmful for both the person suffering from Capgras and the loved one that is obviously not an imposter.
Obviously? I mean, can we say obviously?
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, because
allegedly.
there's Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Let's see, where else? So, Capgras syndrome can be caused by brain or neurological damage, and it may also occur due to another condition affecting the brain, particularly those that affect how the brain perceives and processes information or stores and retrieves memories. So, when the temporal cortex experiences damage, you can lose the ability to recognize familiar faces visually. But they can process that they recognize the people. It's just the emotional connection and the memories of that person are altered.
What's weird is that your visual cortex center is actually occipital. So they're saying that with temporal damage, you lose the ability, or that you can lose the ability to identify them. I wonder if that's the difference.
Recognize
like
familiar faces. It's like
okay, so it's the
Wernicke's.
recognition. Yeah. Okay.
That's wrong, but it's a different part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like,
yeah. So also traumatic brain injuries and concussions can lead to Capgras syndrome. This may be due to a disconnect between the temporal cortex and the limbic system, which regulates your emotions.
Okay.
But because Capgras syndrome is a rare condition, it does not meet diagnostic criteria to be included in the DSM-5, but it does fall under other DSM-5 diagnoses. So some conditions that may coexist with Capgras syndrome include paranoid schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, Lewy body dementia, and brain injury. So, if you listened to our Lewy body episode, you might know a little bit more about how that process would affect the brain. Mm-hmm. If not, there's a great episode a long time ago about Lewy body.
If not, they should have. They're lost.
Right.
If that's
right. No. Make sure to go listen to it now. What do you mean they're lost?
Pause here. Come
Stop
back later.
here and go listen.
Right.
So, about 16% of people with Alzheimer's disease experience Capgras syndrome. Of those with Lewy body dementia, as many as nearly 28% have Capgras.
28%
so the syndrome
of the Lewy body people have Capgras?
Yes.
Well.
So the syndrome may occur after structural changes in the brain, which, again, with Parkinson's and Lewy body dementia and brain injury, all of those are structural damage to the brain, such as atrophy, lesions, dysfunction, and injury. The signs and symptoms can also differ depending on what's causing the syndrome in a particular person. So you can experience Capgras differently than someone else can experience Capgras. So some of the symptoms might include paranoid delusions, disassociation, aggression, auditory and visual hallucinations, and violent outbursts.
So it's almost like dementia, where it's like this can be both a symptom and a disorder in itself.
Yes.
I definitely see the overlap with the schizophrenia.
Right.
Well, but even like Alzheimer's, because think about it, like if you're forgetting who your loved ones are, how are you distinguishing between like there's a structural shift where they actually think they're somebody else and they've forgotten who they are and are confused because of Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be tough.
And if you actually do go back and listen to the Lewy body episode, you can hear us talk about the difference between, Kayla talk about the difference between Alzheimer's. And
Kinsey and I were quiet the whole time.
Right. I've never spoken once on this podcast, so mostly Kayla.
After the halfway mark.
After the halfway mark, I lay down on my cot and wait for it to be over.
Why do you have a cot?
That's the first word she could think of.
Bed, couch, floor.
Cot. My cot.
Like she's in MASH.
I slept on a cot once.
I have too.
For about 3 months, actually.
Anyway. Wow.
So yeah, if you listen to the episode, you can hear the differences between those two things.
Right. And what Annie was saying was people with Alzheimer's disease have a hard time differentiating between people and their memories. It's just like it's all confusing. And one of the core emotion for aggression is fear, right? And so being scared of people around you can cause those violent outbursts that apparently is associated with this. Currently, there is no prescribed treatment plan for people with Capgras syndrome. More research on the syndrome is needed, but you can treat to relieve symptoms. Treatment aims to address the underlying cause. For instance, if someone with schizophrenia and Capgras has poor symptom control, treating the schizophrenia with antipsychotic medication can improve the Capgras. So, some treatments may include medications to boost neurotransmitters involved in memory and judgment for dementia and Alzheimer's disease, antipsychotics and therapy for people with schizophrenia, and this says surgery or rehabilitation if possible for brain lesions or head trauma.
Lobotomy.
Yeah.
We also have an episode on that.
Howard Doley.
Don't forget to listen to all of the episodes where we talk about all of the fucked up things you can do to your brain.
So true.
It's weird how psychology is about the brain.
Isn't that weird?
Not my psychology.
Oh, God. All right. There's also a treatment. I've never actually heard of this. It says reality orientation is a treatment for dementia that involves continuously orienting a person with dementia in the reality of their environment. This includes the time, place, and people around them. And this therapy may help people with dementia better understand their surroundings and feel less anxiety.
That don't sound research-based.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
That don't sound evidence-based.
Yeah. To help people with... yeah. So, to help people with Capgras Syndrome overcome their delusions, mental health therapists may... This sentence is so funny to me. Mental health therapists may gently discuss the false beliefs while pointing out the evidence in favor of and against them. To put it lightly.
Hey!
Can you...
hey! That baby is your baby. No, that's your baby.
It's yours, you fucking psycho.
If you want to get in an argument with someone who has Capgras, you can tell them they're wrong. Is what I read in that sentence.
These are not our ideal clients, I don't think.
That baby is your baby.
No, Annie would be like, no, I think that is a changeling. You're right.
Fuck it isn't.
Oh my God, you guys know I am too superstitious for that shit. They'd be like, it's a changeling. And I'd be like, okay, let's do the seance. I'm ready. Let's fucking go.
But side quest, those are the clients that always freak me out because I don't necessarily not believe in it. Right. I'm just a skeptic. So then they're talking about like how the demon knew the sister was going to die and then they died that day. And it's like, I don't know, maybe we're going to believe it together just in case.
Oh my God. That's exactly...
You and your clients frolicking through a field with demons behind you.
Literally exactly how I feel. When clients come in and say some weird witchy shit, I'm like, I don't know enough to know you're wrong. So I'm just going to believe you did it. Whatever the potion was, let's say you did it. I'm not trying to get on a witch's bad side. Are you kidding?
Guys, listeners, we are licensed. And actually very effective. Trained.
I'm effective because I'm not on
train wreck.
I am effective because the witch hasn't killed me because I'm not on her fucking bad side. You're not listening. No curses here.
Okay.
Kinsey and I both said, oh.
In addition, the ABC model in cognitive behavioral therapy is often used to help those affected overcome their delusions. It's worked by challenging delusional thoughts and beliefs to change how a person responds
Kinsey's
to them.
time to shine.
That sounds more evidence-based.
Are you telling me
legit?
Me gently challenging you that maybe it's not a changeling, it's not evidence-based?
You need to get on some cognitive behavioral.
I'm surprised it doesn't say anything about DBT in there because I feel like dialectic behavior therapy is more often used for the schizophrenia and schizoaffective.
We're more into like the contradictory thing. So we're going to say it could be a changeling and it might not be a changeling. We're going to learn to be comfortable with it either way, because now this is your fucking baby. Because if you give it back, Defax is coming for you.
I like that.
Take a deep breath, Stoneflake on a lake. We're just going to drop ourselves into that lake.
So you're going to change. So what I'm hearing is you're changing their delusion to where now they're not paranoid that their child is a changeling, but now they're paranoid that CPS is always around the corner.
Yes,
they're literally watching.
We're going to change our reaction to the changeling. Just like you said, the witch, we're going to get comfortable with the witch because we can't prove the witch isn't here and we can't prove that she is here. So instead, we're just going to change our reaction.
I heard it more of like a cost benefit analysis, right? Basic, is it worth it to decide that the child's going to kill you when like then you go to jail? Like, where are we with that, right? Like,
no.
What is
we have gone so far into this hypothetical scenario,
but this is actually not very far from what we would do.
Okay, listen. First and foremost,
in this context, it's funny.
First and foremost, we do the seance with the client, right? Which, we get it started, we lubricate.
This is not what we were saying.
This is not we.
This is a Kinsey thing.
No, I mean,
not my DBT.
Again, I think DBT sounds like it would be effective as well.
We don't do seances.
Well, they didn't say that.
And then
I feel like Kayla's about to take us a very different direction because she's saying, this is funny.
No, I'm saying it's funny when we're talking about theoretical models because we can take it in any weird direction we want to go. But in the therapy room, it's actually effective and serious and like helpful. But us just talking shit about each other is funny.
I think it keeps my clients grounded when they come in and I'm like, well, do you want to go to prison? And then, we remind them that this is the outcome. You got to keep it real.
This is why I like my sarcastic clients, though, because this is the kind of stuff that I would say with my clients. Like, this is me bringing my authentic self to the room. This is what happens when you get me as a therapist.
Right, same. I'll
Book
be like,
with her, everyone.
Like, my client is like, always saying about the grippy sock vacation. And I'm like, girl, I've been seeing a lot of memes about that. You could really get into that business. No?
Can I finish my story?
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Okay. I've been trying to finish this sentence. All right. All right.
Guess.
So caring for someone with Capgras Syndrome can be emotionally demanding, especially if you're the one that they perceive as the imposter. So, to help someone who has Capgras, here are some strategies to try. You can enter their realm of reality when possible, which sounds dangerous. It can help if you try to understand how terrifying it must be.
Wait, can you... I'm coming in now.
Yeah. Avoid arguing with them or trying to correct them.
No. This is not
Kinsey's
your
out.
baby!
Kinsey's out. Kinsey's out.
Help them feel safe. If you're unsure of what to do, you can ask the person what they need or talk with a healthcare professional. Acknowledge their feelings. If possible, have the imposter leave the room. If this is you and you're the caregiver, let someone else take over until the episode is over. Rely on sound. If you know someone is prone to Capgras, you can make sure that the first way they register your appearance is with sound. Greet them out loud before you see them when possible.
I do want to be clear. I was able to work at a psych ward for 2 years where people thought I was both Taylor Swift and there to kill them. So I'm adaptable. I can make it work.
Kinsey said lots of types of people like me.
I didn't say they liked me. I just said we all ended up alive at the end of the day. No one said they liked me.
It's just because they have really good lock systems.
She loves a gift.
Honestly, I was more interested, or I wanted to know more about the, like, what happens within the brain. I was curious about the, like, what actually occurs.
It sounds like they
Yeah,
don't really
I couldn't-
know.
They don't know yet. They just know that there are brain lesions, or when there's brain injuries, or if they have other symptoms, then they experience Capgras. But they don't actually really know. That's all hypothesis. What?
Immunity.
Oh, no.
What?
No.
I don't
What
know.
is?
I don't know if this is common knowledge. What is a brain lesion?
That's common
It's
knowledge.
a bad question.
Oh.
Like, what is?
Because I can't.
What
Like,
is
I just know that it's because I wouldn't be able to describe it.
Like, I know it's
I can't
bad,
describe it either, actually.
but what does it mean?
Right.
I can't describe it either.
Like, what?
Anybody? I'll Google.
I know bad, not good. Bleed?
I think it's like, I can't
Tear?
explain it.
Right. Oh, okay. An abnormal area of tissue, inside or outside. Okay, a lesion is an abnormal area of tissue. So I guess it's kind of like, not cancerous, but it's kind of like cancerous, how it just becomes like abnormal cells. So a brain lesion would be some kind of abnormal tissue.
Interesting. I've heard the term so much, but I never knew what it meant.
Not a bad
Well,
question.
now you know.
Very good question.
Thank you. I've never heard of this. I'm curious how it got named. Capgras.
When
I just told you a story.
You should have called him.
I just told you a story of how it was named.
I didn't even hear.
Joseph.
I didn't hear you say how it was named.
Oh
The researcher's last name was Capgras.
Oh,
no! This is just such good proof that she doesn't listen.
Oh my god!
I was trying so hard to follow.
I read it as slow as I could.
I heard about the girl and the mom. I didn't hear the researcher's last
That was
name.
the first sentence.
This has been a really good episode at the end. This is probably one of our most exciting second halves.
It's been terrible. I hate it here. I've been interrupted. My story was 4 times longer than it should have been. Kinsey wasn't listening half the time because she only wanted to talk about herself.
I tried. I was trying to write down the words I needed to put on the hashtags.
Terrible. We're not posting this one.
Okay.
You could not have said that better. I just wonder how they named it.
I really want to know how they named it.
I really did.
Interesting.
That. I tried to follow.
I'm gonna throw up.
So wait, what year was it?
For what?
That they found this. When was this? I don't remember.
You
when
guys
the
would ask
mother...
me this after I already closed out of everything.
That's not our problem.
Done.
It's your story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Memorize the facts, man.
Hey. Relax. His name was Joseph Capgras in 1923.
Wow.
That's a long time ago. You know how many years ago it was?
100. It was 100 years ago.
I can do that math. It was 100.
I feel like they should have more information on that by now.
How about you go into research?
Man, you just got to go to school for so long. Kinsey.
Right, Kinsey?
Kinsey starts twitching.
I'm in research.
Exactly.
My name is research.
There. I made it.
I just
Anyway.
wonder who it was named after, you know?
Oh, shut up. God. I'm never going again. I'm just glad this is over.
I thought it was a good story. I thought Kinsey and I came in with really good
Annie.
commentary.
Thank you.
I was
I was defending me and Kinsey.
I was trying. I tried. I put
Kinsey,
effort in.
I thought we did good. I thought
we did good. I talked about
talked about
DVT.
therapy.
I asked what a fucking whatever the brain lesion was. Like, I'm trying to learn here.
Backwards. Anyways, I enjoyed the story.
Annie did fantastic.
Annie, I did so. I'm just impressed with I am the talent.
Oh my God.
So good.
If you guys would like to listen to other episodes about tragic psych stories,
The brain.
you guys can go back and listen to any of our episodes. We talk about really dark shit all the time, and we laugh at each other along the way.
Specifically, Kayla and Kinsey's.
If you would like to follow us on social media, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can email us at mentallymorbidpod@gmail.com. You can also send Kinsey only money at Venmo. And check out our website because Annie works on it every 6 months.
I have been working really hard on using the filters on, what's that app that I use? CapCut. So if you like any of our TikToks and want me to recreate it several more times, let me know.
If you want us to quit, you can also email us and tell us that. So
Annie's
on
next
that
week.
note, I am next week. I'm pretty sure I already know what I'm going to talk about.
Is it baby demons?
Give us
Listen, no, but that's still on my to-do list.
Is it Anastasia? Is it Pocahontas?
It's really hard to give a hint. It will. No, I wish. Maybe next time. Okay, it's really hard to give a hint without telling you what it is. Fear of leaving house.
Oh, got it.
I watched a good movie about that.
It might be about this person. I have a specific
It's
person I've
on
never heard
my
of.
list of things to talk about, so I'll just cross that right off.
Cross that shit off. Yeah.
Okay.
So next week, you guys can come in for a nice story. Kayla, I'm honestly surprised we didn't talk about murder. We talked about the possibility of murder, but not actually.
I did
murder.
a good job. I picked something
a good
that somebody
job.
Die.
This episode might be appropriate for your children if you have children, so feel free to let them listen.
Fuck
so
you.
yeah, so
Not anymore.
Okay, until then, we hope that you do stay mental.
Stay morbid.
See you Tuesday.
Mentally Morbid.